Afternoon. This is an Arrow ET50 electric stapler. I got this in some stuff the other day, and it's dead as a doornail. How about that? So let's just take it apart, see what's going on. Got another one of these downstairs I use from time to time. I'm not a big stapler fan. I don't know why. Staplers have their place, but I guess the work I do doesn't involve stapling too many things. These have kind of like lock nuts on the back. And a few screws. Looks like we're going to have to keep track of them. There's two that are different. That one probably came out here. Yeah, okay. We'll just lay them out there. Won't go anywhere. Actually, I got a bunch of staplers there. I was going to give one to a friend. He said he needed some staplers. I thought he's kind of got some arthritis. I thought electric stapler would be just a great way for him to staple what he wants. And, of course, it's broke. Oh well. No good deed goes unpunished. Maybe I'll just tear this baby apart. See how it works anyway. Do not use in damp or wet locations. That's kind of a given, isn't it? Three, four. Well, it appears it's trying to come apart, but looks like I need to do a little more work. Maybe... oh, maybe this one here. So, all in all, of course that one doesn't want to come apart without a fight, because there's no... those nuts have little places to set in the molded plastic. Since these have lock nuts on them, they don't want to come apart terribly easy. So, what do we got? Well, it looks like there's only one staple or one screw that's any different. Okie dokie. Well, maybe that nut needs to come out. Oh, I wonder if that's going to be big enough to take it apart or not. Of course not. Well, off you go till I get back. Well, I'm back. I just decided to use the needle nose on my pliers here. That should work okay. Looks like I think those nuts are all, well, there's one that's a different size. Okay, we'll figure it out. Two that are different sizes. So there's one screw that's different and two nuts. We'll kick the magazine cartridge up. Here we go, the whole thing came out. Oh, there's another nut hidden in there. Sneaky little devils. So is this? Yeah, we'll get that out. I'm assuming that this big... oh, that isn't going to come out without a fight. Okay, I'll give in. Let me go get some tools and I'll be back. Well, that appears to be a 3/8. Yeah, I happen to have this bit set up here. And we'll just use that instead of running around gathering up a bunch of stuff. That'll work. So there's 3 nuts that are specialized. Okay, that just kind of walks off of there. There's the anvil, but it appears when I plug that in, it doesn't do anything. I'm just going to step over here. It has a safety. I'm just going to step over here and see if it happens to start working. Okay, looks like we're going to have to split the case. We'll set that there. Give them credit, there's not a lot of moving parts on this. I don't think I've ever actually, I don't think you can take most staplers apart. So we'll just... Huh. There's actually stuff in here. I'm a little surprised. That's kind of clever. This is the solenoid. It probably just slams down. Yeah. This is the... Well, that's the trigger, although there's some electronics in here. Yeah, that's kind of clever. They put a ground there. Here's the switch, and it just snaps in these little connectors. I wonder what could be broken here. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me go get a voltmeter and we'll find out. Well, I got the voltmeter out. It's kind of interesting. Well, this is a micro. This is actually called a micro switch. And we'll switch to. So this is a single pole double throw. It has one pole and a pair of contacts that are on or off. Okay, so I don't think the switch is bad. Kind of surprised this has. I'm actually surprised this has some electronics in it. Not very many though. That appears to be burnt out. Let's set the trigger off to the side. That's kind of clever that that switch just sits in those screw contacts. Well, I don't know. I suppose the solenoid could be bad. Let's test it. I've just got a continuity tester here. Nope. I don't see any fuses or anything like that. We're just testing the line cord here where it comes in. Okay. Well, there's only about a handful of actual electronics there. I guess I could, yeah, I can take this circuit board out. Look on the back. Oh, there we go. See it there? Right there. There's a trace blown off the. Yeah, that's where the pot or the live comes in here and hooks to over there. Well, the $60 question is, why did it blow that trace? Well, one thing we can do, we can solder a little piece of wire back on there. I'm a little puzzled as to why that blew that. So either the gun got overloaded or something else is shorted. I guess I have my choice. And if I got a little chunk of wire up here, there's some solder. I cleaned something up the other day and threw the leaves off of it. They probably went way to the bottom of the trash can. Oh. Darn it. You know, I had one. Hang on, let me shut you off here for a sec. I think I know where there's something. Okay, dokie. This is one of those deals where it pays to have a few little scraps of stuff floating around, even if it's just in a shoebox somewhere. What do we need? This is a piece of wire off an old TV I wrecked out the other day, and well, that's all you need is one little piece. Save you from going to the hardware store and a trip down there and all that stuff. I'm gonna do what's actually I'm gonna see if you can see that. I'm gonna do what's called tinning. I'm gonna tin the wire. The wire is stranded, but I'm gonna solder the ends ahead of time. It'll make it a little easier to work with. And I'm gonna kind of just tack this in there just to see if it'll get going. It's entirely possible that something is shorted in here and blew that trace open like a fuse. I'm kind of surprised they don't have a fuse in there. Anyway, to tin something, you just basically just solder the end. There we go. Okie dokie. So, on here, yeah, right there. See how it's, whoop, this camera. You get close and it buzzes out. I'm just going to solder the wire from here to here. The trace is blown from right there to there. I guess you'll just have to put up with my hands in the way. Actually, I'm going to trim those ends back a little bit to make them smaller. This is a Weller. This is a D550 soldering iron. This is kind of like soldering with a blowtorch, but if you're quick, you can do this kind. Get away with this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a little blobby, but yeah. Like I said, I'm just trying to get this going. We'll bend this around here and get this side heated up. Just get that warmed up. Once the solder flows, it'll come on. And these guns, when those tips, the nuts get oxidized, they take a long time to heat up. Come on, get in there. There we go. It didn't take. There you go. Let's try again. Come on, get in there. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of give that a little Z bend there. I could have neatened it up a little more. So, okay. We're going to fold that back in there. And I think I'm going to put the shell back on the gun here. Let's see, how did that go in there? That went in there that way. Here's a little friendly tip. Get a spring and something, kind of watch it, because what could happen is you could squeeze it, compress it, and if it popped, if you're compressing it and you get it compressed and you pop, it could fly out of there. And who knows where it'll bounce about 60 times before it lands. And I guarantee you a bad word will be said. There we go. Oh, I see. The safety works on this by getting in the way of this little tab or flag. Gets in the way of the trigger. It actually goes in between here. That's kind of clever. It's always fun to see how other people build things. Especially when it comes time to, if you need to build something yourself, you can steal some technology from somebody else. Well, I'm just going to hold this together and walk over here and plug this in and see if it works. Wow, that thing is a really aggressive gun. It's like holding a small .22. Probably what somebody did was they held the thing down. Okay, so we're ready to go back together. That wasn't good. Oh! Okay. That actually goes in there and it sits on, there's a little barb in there it sits on, and then the bolt goes through. So we'll just snap her back in there. And there we go. I had to wiggle it back and forth a little bit to get the, I believe that that part that protrudes is what's called the anvil, I believe. Let's see if we'll get her started here. Oh, there's one down. It's a dirty little secret for you. This works with screwdrivers and nut drivers. If you're trying to install a nut somewhere and it's down like this, a lot of the sometimes these nut drivers don't have magnets, or you're working with something non-magnetic, so you go to install it and it just, you know, falls right out. One thing you can do is cut a piece of paper in a U shape and shim it in there. Or another thing that works really good is some beeswax, or what they call dental wax. You can get that up at the pharmacy, and just stick it in there. Just a little dot of it will hold things back together, and it's really a great way to put things back together, especially if you need to hold it in some awkward position. Like I said, these have capture places on the back, and that one's the short one. There we go. Now we're good. Sometimes it helps if you do this stuff on an old towel or a big puffy rag or something. That way if you drop something, it won't bounce. It bounces one time maybe and it won't roll away on you. That's another good old tip. So there's probably I don't know, let's say a manual one of these is 20 bucks. I don't know what a electric one is worth. Probably not cheap. That goes in the back. Just kind of start screwing her back together. Sometimes if you don't tighten all these things at once, if you need to rattle something around to align it, it can be a little bit better. Remember, this has got to go back in. It's being evil to me. Well, something is amiss. So what could it be? Oh, I know. There's some little teeth here. They need to go into there. So I need to make sure I got it lined up. They hook in the front there. Anything to save a buck, which is okay. This is a kind of cool way to make do the minimal amount of working parts. Come on. There we go. Okay. Okie dokie. Got her locked in. And what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 screws. Just hold that on there while we tighten her up. These all go back in the rest of the body. They, like I said, they kind of got molded sockets that they're sitting in. Or it makes this real easy to screw together. I'd like to do that for a living. I bet that wouldn't be a lot of fun. Oh, I hate to tell you how much stuff gets thrown away because of some little 10-cent fix, just like we did today. And for the money you spent screwing around, trying to obtain a new one, you know, you might be someplace where you can't get a new damn tool, and that's all there is to it. You might have to make do. You know. There we go. I have a feeling that there was something there, and it's not there any longer. Not because I lost it. I might have to look. There's a good reason to look at stuff online. Just grab that with the needle nose, tighten her up. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go shoot a couple staples in here. That just slides in there, and then that little catch just catches up underneath. The other thing it might be too is there may not be anything missing there. This may be so you can take this loose and kick it out to clear a jam. Let me go shoot a couple staples here and something. What do I got? A cardboard box. Well, there must have been a screw or something that was in there because it keeps going to fall out, but it does work. And there's the 6 staples to prove it. There you go. Real time, how to fix your arrow stapler if it's got a blown open circuit board. There wasn't too many components in there. There was a diode and a couple resistors and that transistor looking thing, the thing with a blob of wax. Probably was a triac. You know, I might shut you off and go look this up just for fun. Just to see, A, if this piece is missing, and B, how much one of these is. This is an ET50. Let's see what's going on here. I'll be back. Well, we're back. They don't make the ET50 anymore. And they do make a similar stapler that's $77, which I'm really surprised. But, I don't know. Never know what stuff's worth. Actually, it's worth as much as it's worth if you need it. Which is fun. I did see one online. I think it might have been used for $29, and it had a box of staples. Staples, I think, are about $5. Well, that's probably a pretty fair price. One valuable little piece of information I did get is apparently here is just a screw and a bolt that's gone. Somebody, like I said, I'll bet this got screwed up and somebody took it apart and didn't look too far to see what's happening. So there you go. If I had to guess, I'll bet the electronics in this are, when you pull this trigger, it fires that circuit one time for a few milliseconds. And just long enough to slam that solenoid with the anvil down. So it won't burn it out, so it won't keep drawing current while you got the trigger held. I could test it downstairs, make sure. Probably somebody overloaded it or used it too many times, or who knows. You know, people are kind of hard on stuff. I don't know. I think actually it's a pretty powerful little stapler. I think it's a black one of these, but I don't know where I got it. I don't know. If you had to do a lot of staples, it might save your damn hand. Okie dokie. Well, there's all you need to know about your Arrow ET50 stapler. Well, that's not everything, but it might save you a few bucks. Get you back on the road again. And if worse comes to worse, all you gotta do is throw it away. You might find some interesting, fun parts in there to play with. The stapler blew up on you. I don't know, that coil might be fun to take apart and make an antenna for a shortwave radio. So there you go. Tell you what, if you have any questions or comments, feel more than free to leave them. Not a big deal. If you have a question, yeah, go ahead and leave that too. If you'd like to join my channel, there's a cute little button right down here, right there. And I have other videos. If you stop by my channel, I have a lot of mechanical, electromechanical, electronic, and electrical. Kind of the gamut from the early 1850s up to modern times. So you never know what you might find there that might be useful. Have a great day. Take it easy.